Hello guys. I guess after seeing these last few movie reviews of Unfamiliar, you probably want something a bit more familiar. So today we're going to talk about The Disaster Artist. Now, I don't have the copy yet, of course, even though it is out on DVD. But before I get into it, let's talk a little bit about it. It was released on 2017. It's rated R, so definitely not for kids. Excuse me. But yeah, not for kids. It's an hour and 44 minutes long. It's not a super long movie, and it was released on DVD in 2018. It's 2019 now, so it has 7.4 out of 10 on IMDb with about 106,000 people, and 76% on Metacritic, about 44 critics. It stars James Franco and Dave Franco. James Franco, we know him from Spider-Man, and Dave Franco we know from Neighbors. And the movie's also directed by James Franco as well, so he stars and directs this movie as well. On Rotten Tomatoes, the movie has 91% with about 314 critics and 86% by audience. About I think it's 1,000 or 2,000. I think it's 2,000-ish audience people. And here's the critic consensus. It starts with "Oh, hi, Mark." Sometimes critic consensus on Rotten Tomatoes get a little humorous. "Oh, hi, Mark." That's how it starts, and then it goes on to say, "The Disaster Artist is a surprisingly poignant and charming movie about a movie that explores the creative process with." What's that word? My writing. Let's see. Oh, with unexpected delicacy. So, the creative process with unexpected delicacy. Okay. The movie is available to stream on Amazon Prime Video, and Campy. And it's available to rent and buy on Amazon, YouTube, Google Play, iTunes, Fandango, Vudu, PlayStation Store, and Microsoft Store. Alright, now, first off, I know I don't talk a lot about newer movies. A lot of it's because I feel like newer movies they get a lot of spotlight, and the point of the show really was to spotlight good movies that aren't known or talked about anymore. But I feel like with The Disaster Artist, and this, from going forward, this is what I'm going to kind of focus on. It's really not necessarily the age of the movie, but really just, I mean, because how many people remember The Disaster Artist now? Like, after it came out, after it went through the award ceremony with the Oscars and shit, we still don't talk about it really that much. So I wanted to spotlight it because The Room, who hasn't heard of anyone who's into movies knows about The Room. I mean, first let's talk about the movie itself. The movie is based on real events, real life. I will say, acting wise, this movie's pitch perfect. I mean, you can't get any better acting in the movie than this. I mean, James Franco, he goes like Oscar worthy in this movie. And the fact that he didn't get an Oscar for this, I will say I kind of wish he did. Just because, not because any actors from other movies were bad or anything, but just because like the way he performed is very, very much the guy in real life. There's not really any spoilers in this movie because it is based on real life, and a lot of people know the story of it. But I will say, having it be James and Dave, I think that's awesome because it really helps with the chemistry of them, which is great. The screenplay was great because it was funny, but it was serious, and I think that's the way you needed a story like this, because Tommy Wiseau, the main character that the movie's based on, he is a unique guy in real life. He is eccentric. He has his own way of saying things, his own vision, his own likes and dislikes that's unique to a lot of people, and I feel like this movie gets a lot of that right. I will say it is based on a book written by his best friend. I forgot what his name was. I think his name was Greg, who's played by Dave Franco in this movie. So first off, the camera work and the cinematography that's solid. The score of the soundtrack, I don't remember much of a score and soundtrack. It's kind of more faint, which is fine because this movie's kind of going for a more realistic feel, and I think that works. I will say what I love about this movie is just the amount of actors in this movie. Like Tina Fey's in it, and she has like a tiny bit role. Like all actors and actresses that are like Tina Fey have bit roles in this movie. There's a lot of them. And I like that. It shows how many people this movie's impacted. I feel like a lot of people outside of the movie realm don't realize how big The Room was. The movie this film talks about. I mean, it's huge. I mean, I heard about it through Nostalgia Critic. That's how I heard about the movie when I watched his review of it. And yeah, and it's a pretty influential, so bad it's good kind of movie, and it's still going strong nowadays. Um, and watching this movie and watching like Tommy Wiseau, how he's portrayed, it kind of does make you realize he's not completely off track. There is a genius in this. You can see if you really watch him, you can see what he's going for when he's making this movie, what kind of vibe and what he's going for. But a lot of what he's doing gets lost in translation because people don't fully get what he's saying. But yeah, I find this movie is hilarious, but it's also serious too. It's a true dramedy, and the critics are right about it. It does have a delicateness of it. It does handle everything with a lot of respect that it needs for the story to work. And yeah, granted, I will say that some people may not get the humor. The humor of this really is do or die with James Franco's performance. A lot. Like, I watched this with my parents. My mom couldn't get into this movie because she didn't get it. She didn't know about The Room. She didn't really get into a lot of it's just because she didn't get like Tommy. Like, I remember watching it and she's like, "Why can't I understand this character?" And it's like, "Mom, that's how he talks. Like in real life, yeah, that's how he talks." And she just like, "Oh, well, I can't get into it because I can't understand him." I can understand people like that being understand because he does talk he does talk with in a certain way that some people may not audibly understand, but I didn't have a problem with that at all. My dad watched it with me too, and he liked it too. So different people with that would feel differently, but a lot of people love this movie. A majority of people on both critics and audience spectrums love this movie. So if you don't like it, you're in the minority. That happens sometimes. But there's a good chance you'll like it. And it is funny. A lot of it is kind of Tommy Wiseau's mannerisms in the movie. And I think what I love, and another thing I love about this movie is probably just the chase your dream message. Because they made a movie. I mean, how many people out there have made a movie? You know, I mean, most people, I mean, what's one thing to do a little quick YouTube home video, do a Snapchat or Vine 10-second story, but to make a full-length movie with cast of actors, sets, cameramen, and all that shit, director, and all that shit, that takes time, and that takes a lot of effort, and it got made, and it has been successful, it has made money, and people do like it, just not in a way that you would usually like a movie, but it's still the same results, really. So I love this movie a lot. If people like, I know Ed Wood. I haven't seen Ed Wood, which is unfortunate, but or another movie, I forget what it's called. It's something like American Movie or something, The American Movie or something like that. Those two movies are kind of similar vibes as this movie. So if you like those two movies, you'll like this one, really. I haven't saw either one of Ed Wood or the American Movie. I hope I got that right. I may not. But I know they're good from what I heard, and I'll check them out sometime when I get the chance. But yeah, this movie's great. There's not much more I can say about it because it's kind of one of those movies that that most people will get, but people who don't get it will really not get it, because it really is a movie for people who love all kinds of films, both good and bad. And it's really a movie celebrating the passion to make a film. Just as much as about Tommy Wiseau and his character and his best friend's character and how they try to make the movie while trying to understand Tommy's vision and how he translates his image with other people and how that works out. But yeah, there's a lot of funny moments in this movie and a lot of serious moments too. But I never felt like the dramedy outweighed the comedy. I felt like it was really balanced, and I think that's key with a movie like this. But yeah, there's not much more I can say about it. There's not really anything negative I can think about the movie, except maybe I will say this. Maybe the fight scenes probably took a bit more priority than I think they should have taken. I felt like they kind of put those things kind of more in the third climax-ish. And I don't know how he felt about that. I mean, most movies it's cliche. This one movie makes it work because it doesn't really dwell on it that long. It just kind of, and it felt right given the movie was going. So that's not really a big thing. So but right now I can't really think of anything wrong with it, really. Even nitpicks, really. But yeah, that's all I have to say about it. It's a great movie. Check it out. It's available everywhere. It's a newer movie, so you shouldn't have any trouble finding it. It might be on an expensive site because it is new-esque, but it's worth the purchase. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe and like the videos, and have a good day.